I love him, man. He's so great.
Okay, so we're seeing a Suzuku castle pick here. This is the first time I think we're seeing this. It's a very small stage, the smallest stage or stage length in the two's current map pool, and it kind of makes sense here as we got an Akuma, so it's a little cannon, maybe a little power up there, but we got Akuma holding a lightsaber, which is crazy as well.
It's actually...
I love this game. It's so awesome.
Brawlhalla is a silly game sometimes. I love it. I love it. Anyways, we continue to push forward here. Nobody really taking... I mean, red team is kind of, doing a pretty good job of, having a little bit of a lead here in terms of damage. I mean, that's what's going to happen in general when you have two heavy hitters on one team. Like, the damage is just going to get stacked up. And there goes Djessir, taking out that first stock. Woo! And his teammate right behind him.
That's the thing with playing Akuma here is you don't have like a crazy large hitbox that's very crucial in swatting away the red team. So we were talking about it where, double axe as strong as it is, I think the success of the red team comes when they're on the lance and the cannon. And when you don't have a move to kind of swat away and play very proactive, it becomes very difficult to not just take a million damage in your attempt to, get anything started.
Okay. Oh, phew. Big charge on that. Yep. I think he ended up hitting him. It looked like it, but yeah, they are just continuing to just run through this blue team here, and it's crazy. It's just like these two teams who are on the elimination side of bracket got these big upsets, and it's like that has reinvigorated them a little bit to continue to play super strong against these other teams.
Yeah.
Who are like, no offense to them, I'm not trying to downplay anybody. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
They're not as strong of players, singular players, as some of the teams that these guys just eliminated. So like it's really crazy just to watch this happen. Yeah,
they're both coming in with like swagger and confidence, and I think that's one of the most important things to have as a team in Brawlhalla 2s. And it's been definitely the momentum for Taya and Pilot being very, very solid. Like it's just so difficult to get back in this game as a blue team. But as I say, that Blitz getting gravity cancel down light into the ground pound. And slowly making their comeback here. I like to see that Blitz hasn't been taking so much damage because Val definitely, a very well-rounded stat, but you're definitely not like super tanky by any means.
Ooh, tossing that, threaded the needle between all the players, tossing out that rocket launch here. But yeah, our red team continues to do a really good job. And there we go, man. This is a tough 2v1 position to be in. Blitz on the Akuma though. Ugh, it's not looking good. Yep.
I don't
know. I just, missed.
Wait, Pilot?
I thought they were just
Pilot flying like crazy. I didn't think that. I thought Pilot was gone too. I was like, man, that would be a really sad way to lose your stock. But Pilot has an extra stock. It's not just a 2v1. It's a three stock
He's
versus
still
one.
living? Okay. I was gonna say this is starting to get a little ridiculous.
I thought Akuma was a glass cannon, but not in this game with the Val crossover. Having a pretty decent amount of defense on the stat line, and I think taking the defense stance as well, very smartly because you're playing against versus you're playing versus Ogrim and Zol, which is just so much damage.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking it. I'm liking it right now. These guys, they know how to play off each other. I assume they're communicating very well.
Yeah.
Because again, that's another aspect of doubles. How well is your communication?
Yeah.
Right, talking to each other. And again, communicating isn't just saying something. It's also hearing something.
Yeah.
Right. That's a part of communication. That's how communication works. I say something, you hear something, you register that in your brain, and then you say something back to me. Right. And then I register that in my brain, and then we come together for an idea, and that idea is double combos. And that's what these guys are doing.
I think of a Boomy clip where he let a random viewer play twos with him, and every time Boomy got a hit, he said, "That's yours now. That's your hit now. That's your hit." And I feel like some people think that that's how you calm in twos, and I think that's definitely not the case. There's a lot of communication going on, especially as you're playing a very high octane team between this Zol and the Ogrim.
All right now, looking kind of good here. Red team looking a lot better. Oh, not a lot better, excuse me. I mixed the teams up for a second here. Blue team is still in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely, okay, I was going to say, at least they both have their stocks, but as I say that down sig does find a connection.
Oh, it's not just me. Oh, thank God. All right, well, game two, yeah, kind of like second verse, same as the first. A little bit better and a little bit worse. Oh, jeez. Caught between a rock and a hard place, and both of them have axes.
Yeah, that's a wall just closing in like the trash compactor. I mean, it's just so difficult to get out of that terrible spot. You're just taking so much damage. Blitz somehow holding on. I wrongfully called it was a defense that we're actually on the attack stand, so even though you're on attack stand, still holding on for a while. As I say that, though, I mean, we're both caster cursing like crazy today. That side air will find its connection. And the KO, nice little open up there with the downlight into the recovery on Blitz's sword. This is what I was highlighting before the set started. The sword was very, very solid on Blitz. Nice side stick as well to cover the landing in the corner. Ooh, nice.
Ooh. Lots of damage, too. And that's the thing, is like these guys don't even need those long strings for doubles combos. They just need like, just getting 3 or 4 hits. They're going to put so much damage on one person for that. And that just puts them in a position where they can just get those onesies, twosies later, and they're going to close out those stocks, man. And yeah, red team continues to dominate here, looking really, really good. Rocket Lance brain.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of Rocket Lance. If you don't like Rocket Lance, this is not the set for you. There's a lot of flying around.
I will spin in a circle because it is good.
Ooh, Blitz with a crazy ground pound, very high ground pound into the immediate drop down side air, holding on to all the resources, not burning a jump to try to position better, just relying on that drift, and it worked out really, really well. And now we're down to an even stock, but of course Blitz definitely the most squishy of all the characters here. Oh, some team damage there. That's a big swing, honestly.
And that's Zul.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's Zul crossfire. Listen, it hurts either way, all right?
Ooh.
Ooh, okay, that's big. That's a great way to answer back here. And they're trying to find a way to get Djessir out of the way. They do, and this is another tough 2v1 scenario.
It was looking so close, too. They were both 3 stocks on both teams, but when you're 3 stocks, if you can target that person that has 1 stock left, it becomes so much easier to win a 2v1 situation. Blitz, though, I mean, was looking really solidly on the sword a little bit earlier on in the set. You just have to find a KO here. He does on that end sig. Okay, that's the end light. Let's see the edge guard attempt. Nice movement from Pilot to avoid all of that, just landing into the corner nonetheless.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a bit of a, not necessarily a misplay, but like, yeah, definitely some great stuff from Blitz to just like keep that aggression on. Just wasn't able to get a couple hits, but like, yeah, you got to go full offense in those positions.
Yeah, Enlight gets punished immediately by the downlight into Nair, where we might see a weapon starve angle. We don't, but a nice double sidelight into recovery. Blitz now forcing a 1v1 situation on the gauntlets. We'll see if a couple good reads, but no, it just doesn't happen when that side air from Ulgrim finds those KOs. That's a crazy win condition when you have an Ulgrim. Just like get them to the damage where a side air will KO, and it becomes that much easier to close out those sets.
It's just like, that's a tough spot too, man.
Yeah.
It's just, that's such a rough position to be in. But you know what? Good stuff from them. All right, we're in a good position right now. If you're red team.
Yeah.
Now blue team here. Looks like we might be getting a slight character switch.
I am fully for the switch. I'm a Val main in 1s. I play Jala in 2s. I think it's a really great switch.
Well, I mean, at this point too, I mean, I just think when you're on elimination side of things,
try something.
Try something,
yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, if you feel like you've got it, then yeah, stick with the characters, right? And if you feel like, oh, he's already saying GG.
He's doing most of the damage.
Yeah, but did you see he did GG?
Wow, that's crazy. In the lobby?
That's insane. Hey, here you go. Here's Jala.
There's my Jala. I mean, I do think that Jala has a lot of merit in 2s. I mean, you know, having very high damage and dex, a decent speed, and then, of course, you spec into that defense because you don't want to be 3 defense versus Zul and Ulgrim.
Definitely not.
But I was saying the one thing that I think Val misses in this current 2s meta is a big hitbox to kind of like get people off of you, a touch me not, something just be like, don't get near me. And that's what Jala will have on the axe. So we'll see if that switch is able to work out for Blitz, who did most of the damage in the last game on the Akuma, but I think a lot of that came from the 2v1 scenario. Nonetheless, we got to switch over to the Jala.
Yep, we'll definitely see how it plays out right now. I mean, things are looking a little bit grim, but you know what? You never say never. It's not over until it says game over, so.
Yeah. Already, as we get a switch over to APOC, my favorite stage, we're seeing a lot more movement from the blue team, especially on the Jala having pretty high speed is just going to look to kind of hover around that corner and whiff punish with the sword. But you take a lot of damage on Jala, and you're not, even with the strength or the defense stance, you're still only at 4 defense, so it's really scary.
And you know, that just took that one opening too, where both blue members were up in the air, and red team just got the shark as much as they wanted for a little bit. And look how much damage they already built up, getting 1 stock out of the way. Djessir, I mean, they're in that dark orange, you know, that lighter red, but like they probably won't be too far behind them.
Blitz really holding on to the sword here, and we didn't really see much from the axe, so I think definitely relying on it, but I mean, even here faltering those combos and in a really bad spot is Djessir, who able to make their way back to the stage, but not without taking a lot of damage. That Nair not enough to KO, but now basically any hit is either KOing you or isolating your teammate for a 2v1 for a really long time. And this APOC side platform is not the friend of the blue team. The juggles from the red team, as you were pointing out, are very, very strong.
Both of them. Oh, okay, there we go. Finally gets on the board here. So finally, blue can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, getting at least one stock off of Pilot. But I mean, you look at Djessir. Look at, I mean, actually him and Taya. Yeah, they should both be flying out right there, and they do, evening things up here.
Whoa.
So you know, definitely happy for blue team, kind of answering back just a little bit.
I don't know if you saw that, but Pilot literally walked Blitz into the corner. Didn't do a single, but literally just walked down, and you saw like just the amount of fear coming out from Blitz, having to jump away and then getting hit with a downlight there. Some crazy confidence coming out from Pilot.
That's some aura.
That is aura.
That is aura.
That was crazy.
I feel like if you kind of got that, you might just have the W in the bag anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe he was right saying GG earlier. Although it wasn't him.
Like,
that was,
I'm not going to do anything. You're just
Taya.
going to be scared of me, and it worked.
Yep. I mean, I get it, man. That's all. Like,
yeah.
He's an orc. He's scary looking. You know what orcs do? They like eat bones.
Yeah. Or they use bones as their weapons, as Zol does.
Yeah, you know, like both. They can do both. Orcs are kind of scary.
Dude, Zol is scary, but so is Macho Man finding that side air there to close out that stock. And another end light. That's a double KO for the blue team. As the red team are potentially on their... Oh, no. I got it mixed up. The red team, they're up 2-0 in the set count. My bad, but...
Yeah, but I mean, you look at like their damage numbers right now. They are really holding on to these second stocks.
Boom, that's your bye-bye.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
there we go.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is a really, really even game all of a sudden. And this, oh, man, I actually don't know. You know, I really got to hand it to blue team because like it looks like they're digging deep and they're trying to extend this at least to a game 4, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's honestly the only thing you should be thinking about. Don't think about the set. Think about the game right now.
Yeah.
And they're doing good. They're getting some nice damage.
I think that the plan to kind of find a KO early on Blitz will definitely work out. The sword, you know, not having a lot of range, you can definitely smother sword, but it hasn't been working. We're chasing Blitz. Blitz playing very well around this soft platform, using it to dash off to build some momentum up, and it's been working out. And the red team taking a lot of damage in their attempt to try to chase one down.
Yeah, I mean, they were chasing down Pilot. And they were trying to like corner him, get him to a position where he'd have to use some resources, and eventually a mistake would come out, and then you take that stock. Really got to hand it to blue. They got a nice little game plan here, but now it looks like it's starting to fall apart as red team finds a way to get on their offensive end, does not find the recovery, and you take out your teammate in the process, but you find a way to clean it all up so it doesn't even matter. Woo!
I mean, I don't even know what to say. Just the call there, I mean, the confidence to say, you know, I mean, I don't know if you have time to communicate it. Just going for the side sig, KOing, and then forcing the 1v1, a turnaround, immediate sig to call out a jump in on an attempt to whiff.